One word. One hypnotist, Chris Jones. Chris Jones. One word.
I was I'm eating pancakes and syrup, and you caught me drinking syrup. Because I didn't pour it on my pancake. So I was literally just taking a nice gulp of syrup.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start off our podcast with that, honestly. I was drinking syrup. Talking resolutions with Chris Jones.
To get in shape.
And
better.
I did a podcast for one of Chris's buddies, Jason Friedman, and he's a personal trainer, Chris, and as I'm talking to you now, you're drinking syrup? What the hell?
Yeah, he tries his best with me. There's only so much he can do.
Right on. So what kind of resolutions does Chris Jones make in a year?
I'm getting married, so try to support the fiance as best I can as we're moving closer towards the wedding. And listening to her and, not trying to be too helpful. A married friend of mine was telling me today, he's like, you got to ask the why. Like, when you guys, we don't really argue, but we'll disagree and I won't understand her. And I have to ask the why. I was like, I know a guy who plays in a band. I want him to play for us. And she's like, but I don't like his type of music. I'm like, baby, he will do covers. She's like, I don't know. But the real why is maybe she doesn't want the whole thing to be about my friends. Light bulb, maybe if I hire the DJ, the band, an entertainer, and they're all my friends, that's the Chris Jones show, and she doesn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
It's our show. So I'm like, oh, thanks, friend.
Do you find that it's difficult to ask why?
I don't. I think what's the best thing, or, based on information, what's the best thing? Sorry about the puppies. But no, I don't think I ask a lot of why questions.
Is that going to be hard for you to maybe start doing that in 2019?
I think it's more of being part of her and our team, We've been together for 2 years, but I haven't thought about it like we're a team now. Like, we have to make vacation decisions together and all these decisions together. Like, if I'm going to go abroad, she's coming with me, or I'm not going to go for a long time. That's all there is to it. Like, I wouldn't go abroad, for more than 5 days without her.
Well, see, let me stop you there then. Seriously, because you said you didn't think about team until, and you're still not, but I call BS on that because I think that you do. Otherwise, you would go for longer than 5 days. Otherwise, you wouldn't take Stacy with you when you go, on an extended trip. So you are thinking team, but you just didn't realize that you were.
Well, okay, well, thanks. I guess I didn't see that.
Or am I full of it?
No. I mean, you call that example. I think it's just the everyday, like, what is the team? What's the best interest for her? And Chris Rock has a really great special called Tambourine.
Uh-huh.
And he says he wasn't a good husband because in a marriage you have to play different instruments. You can't always play lead guitar. You can't always sing. Sometimes you're stuck playing the tambourine. But you have to act like you're really excited about playing the tambourine.
I've been married for 28 years, and that's honestly, that's a great way to look at that because I had never even thought about that. But you're right; you can't always take the lead. You sometimes have to step back and and be the tambourine player, or you're playing the kazoo or whatever,
Right, and then he's like, "Got to play the hell out of that, like tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine, tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine."
Right.
It's like, baby, I'm playing this tambourine. While she's singing, but she needs to sing.
Right. So. Is that hard for you to give up piece of that? I mean, being an entertainer, you probably, you have to take the lead a lot of times, but to actually step back and allow somebody else to take the lead, is that growth for you?
I'm not good at teamwork anymore. I used to always be, on a track team or the cross country team, and, it's me versus other athletes. Even with track and cross country, you're competing against your own teammates sometimes.
Right.
But team sports, I haven't done those in years, and I haven't been on a team, and I've been self-employed for 8 years, so yep, gonna have to learn to trust people.
What do you think those steps are, Chris?
I don't know, man. It's a good question, but you're the married guy.
Well, can I tell you something honestly?
Please.
I think that in my relationship, we still like each other, and that is a huge piece of the puzzle. I think that a lot of people, they go in it with just the love, so you got the love. And I get that. I mean, we still love each other, but there's times when it's like, we don't like each other. You know what I mean? We don't love each other, but we still like each other, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? It's like the relationship that you had with your parents,
right?
But with somebody that you're sharing a bed with. You know what I mean? Because there's times that you hated your parents, you hated them, but you still loved them, and then
I've heard I don't like you, but I love you. I've heard that from my married friends. Like, I love you, but I don't like you, which doesn't feel good for the person, I'm sure, but you got to say that.
But you have to have a lot more times that you do like each other too, because I think that you can't have just the I like you but I don't love you thing, or vice versa. You kind of have to have that in your relationship, because there's going to be some great times, Chris. And there's going to be some rock bottom piece of shit times that you're like, why am I doing this? But then you look back and you're like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things would be a lot worse if I wasn't with Marcia and if you weren't with Stacy, No,
that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Marriage Encounters with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Weeknights.
That's what it is.
Weeknights on Chris Jones TV. Do you think you're the best you that you can be?
That's a great question. I think I need to stop procrastinating. I'm afraid of people telling me no. My goal today was to reach out to some sponsors and see if they will support me on the road. Just, if you give me $1,000, I'll wear your product on stage. And if you give me more product, I will give those to students at my show. Like, I run in Brooks running shoes. I wear Men's Warehouse. Send me some free gear. I'll pass it out at my shows. You give me $1,000 and you're my sponsor. And I'm afraid of calling the first person who's saying no, or how much do you want? And I'm like, 1,000. He's like, we'll give you 500. I'm like, 1,000 is not even a lot of money, man.
What if you asked for more than that? What if you said, I want 2,500, and then with the goal of having $1,000?
I like the way you think. I should do that.
Because I found, honestly, Chris, when you ask small, people don't think you're worth it.
That's a very good point. And
I've seen your shows, and I know that your shows that they are worth it, because people are on your every word. And I mean, hell, you could even have somebody do something in that, hey, now you're a Brooks shoe model, and give them a pair of shoes after they do it. It's like, there you go. You got yourself the contract. Here's the shoes.
Right. Like, what are those? These are Brooks, and they're amazing. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun.
Right. And I mean, and that would be a good way to give them out. And then people will talk about that, and they'll want, then they'll want to be part of the show even more, I would think.
Right.
Is it about marketing? I mean, a lot of, even being a hypnotist, being up on stage, is it about the marketing and getting the product drop and the product name out there?
No, I think at my point, I buy a few things to enhance the show. Like, I'll buy some lights, or I'll buy a speaker so I can do the show. But advertising is expensive for me. If I want to get new clients, new colleges, I have to pay my manager. You get on TV, you don't get paid for doing TV. I'll be on Fox News or whatever channel, or like Good Day LA, and I have to fly to LA, stay in a hotel, fly back. That's $600-ish to be on TV.
Is that on your dime?
Yeah.
Huh. Does that help?
Right?
Does that help you?
If I edit that into my promo video, I can charge higher fees or support why I'm charging $5,000, $6,000 a performance. I have friends that are, I'm not doing it for less than $10,000. I'm like, how? He's like, you just got to say that. I'm like, that's my fee. That's what I'm doing. You might get this other show, but it's not going to be my show.
Do you know your worth? I mean, honestly, do you know what one word Chris Jones is worth?
I don't. I think I need to brand myself, and I might need your help. A brand has 4 or 5 words, like FUBU, for us, by us, or Italian Olive Garden, when you're here, your family. 5 words. Chris Jones, I hope I'm funny. No, I need a brand. I need something that says me in 5 words or less.
Well, let's put it out there. I mean, seriously.
No, I'm going to post that. Like, I'm looking for a brand.
Right.
5 words for Chris Jones's brand.
Find entertainer and hypnotist Chris Jones at hypnotistchrisjones.com. The One Word Chris Jones Podcast, a podcast for higher production.